Hello, everyone. I'm just going to talk today about some cases that bothered me deeply when I heard about them. I'm into true crime. I'm not like watching every case, and I don't research them like super deeply unless it's a case that I'm really into. I don't do videos telling you all the information because there are channels out there that just do a wonderful job. I just comment on a case if I'm very interested in it after I've researched it and I know I've got the good information from reliable sources. But when we're doing this, there are just some cases that bother us. If you have any type of conscience, it will bother you when you're researching certain cases. I'm sure there are tons of other cases that, are just super horrific, more than, some that I, am bothered by. But three that I have been really invested in just have bothered me so much. I think one of the worst cases I've ever heard of torture is Junko Furuta. I'm probably messing her name up. A girl in Japan. The torture that she went through, I can't even imagine that she lived 40 days. I don't see how that's possible. That case just is the most upsetting of everything because the torture in that case was horrific and absolutely unimaginable. I think that's the worst case I've ever heard. James Bulger's case, a little kid that was tortured and killed in the UK many years ago by two young kids. That's another case that's very upsetting. And Shanika Jenkins, her case is very upsetting. She was a teenage girl close to being an adult in Chicago, and she went to a party and was later found dead in a hotel freezer. I'm not going to get into the details of all these cases because there are channels that just do an excellent job of giving you the history of all of them. But I'll just tell you briefly and then tell you why. Junko Furuta, she was in high school and in Japan, and she was close to graduating. She, lived a good teenage life, was popular and pretty. And then there was some thug that wanted to be a Yakuza. And because she didn't go out with him, he came up with a plan and had a boy that he try to attack her, and then he came up and, defended her honor. And even though she was uncomfortable with him, since he so-called saved her, she went along with him, so he tried to escort her home to say he would protect her. But he kidnapped her with some other guys, and they raped and tortured her and beat her, took her to a home and kept her there for 40 days and just did unimaginable things. I'm not going to get into it. There are channels that do an excellent job of it. And the dirty parents didn't even try to save her because they were worried about their honor. That enrages me. When she died, she was pregnant because of all the rapes and what they did to her. It's unimaginable. So look into that case if you can. I mean, a lot of stuff doesn't bother me, but when it comes to kids and certain cases, it's just horrific. And then James Bulger, he was a really young kid. Um, and he was with his mother in the mall, and two young teen boys lured him away while the mother was paying for her stuff. And they took him by a train track and tortured and beat him. And then Kenneka Jenkins, as I said, she was at a hotel party with so-called friends, and the video showed her walking around the hotel drunk, even though they said she wasn't a drinker. Don't know if she was roofied or whatever, but later she was found dead in the hotel freezer. That case has been just super sketchy about what really happened, and we'll never know probably. We know the friends were more than likely the culprits. We have to speculate. We can't say 100% sure, but it's pretty obvious, But these three cases, when you dive into them, you can just sense the evil. I've always been an empath. I think that's why I got into psych. I sense things. And when dealing with this case, you can just sense the evil that was around these cases. You can just feel the torture in these cases, and it's heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. Another one that I can sense evilness in, and I can't think of her name off the top of my head. She was at that hotel in Skid Row. It's a famous hotel because I think the Night Stalker stayed there. There were a lot of suicides there. American Horror Story actually did a series based on that hotel. I can't think of the name offhand. I should have thought about that. But this case just popped into my mind while I was talking to you. And it was an Asian girl that was found in the water tower there. That case, I sense an evil too. I know psych very well, and they said she was bipolar. But if you investigate that case, she did not go up there and die herself. There was a maintenance guy there that was super suspect. Like I said, all we can do is speculate. And there was even other guests there that said that they were not comfortable around that maintenance guy. One person actually went down to the wrong floor, and she was scared for her life after being around that maintenance guy. I can't say, but I don't think that girl went into that water tower, especially as heavy as the door was, the way she was found, and it's just no way. People act like bipolar people are just insane and can't think and will just do crazy things because of what they see on TV. But most bipolar people are functional. There's bipolar 1, bipolar 2. Bipolar 1 is like Kanye West. You can have psychotic instances, especially if you're not on medicine. Bipolar 2, you're pretty stable. They're normally not hospitalized. The people that are hospitalized are bipolar 1 normally. But you're just not like out of your mind when you're bipolar, unless you are having a psychotic episode because you're not taking your medicines or whatever. But anyway, I always thought that case was a homicide. I can just sense the evil in it. I can just sense it. That case bothers me too. So these 4 cases just bother me, and I don't like thinking about them because I just get a sense of dread, and it just bothers me. So the case I just told you about in California, the water tower, that one bothers me. Kenneka Jenkins, James Bulger, and Junko Furuta. I know I'm butchering the names, but look into these 4 cases. If you are into true crime, they are heartbreaking cases, just heartbreaking. And you can just feel the evilness in it when you research them. And I would say these 4 cases bother me the most, out of any that I've, really gotten into. And I haven't gotten into a whole lot of cases. I've just recently really got into true crime. But like I said, these 4 cases are just horrific and just really, really upset me when I think about them. So I just wanted to tell you those, cases that have been the most upsetting to me, because you can just feel the evilness when you research it. You can just tell that it was so much suffering, and that there was something sinister around the case. I think that's the best word for it. When you research these cases, you can just tell that something super sinister was involved. And it just does not set right with me, especially for the ones that are really not resolved, like the one in California and Kaninka Jenkins, that are really not resolved. Those just don't sit right with me, and you can just feel it. But anyway, I won't continue rambling on. I just wanted to talk about the cases that have just bothered me after, investigating them. As I said, I don't get into all the details. That's not my channel. There's just so many other channels that do an excellent job on that. I just give my opinion about cases because I try to look at all angles and not just say everything's black and white. So that's it, guys. If you enjoy opinions from someone that does not mince their words, that's honest, intelligent, and is not politically correct, please hit that subscribe button. And please check out my other videos. I'm not a cup of tea for people that are easily triggered. I am blatantly honest. I do not mince my words. And I look at all angles. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.